Hello, my name is Francoise Bardon. I'm an export sales manager for FOCAL, and I'm in charge more precisely with the home classic lines, like speakers, and for the European market. I've been working for a long time for FOCAL, 26 years actually, and I can tell you a little bit about FOCAL. So FOCAL is a French company which was created in 1979 by Jacques Mahul, an acoustic engineer. The company is located in Saint-Étienne, which is close to Lyon. And in Saint-Étienne, we have our headquarters. We have R&D department with about 30 technicians and engineers. And we have, of course, the production plant, because our speakers are made in France, in Saint-Étienne. And 200 people work in the factory in Saint-Étienne. But we also have another factory in the south of Burgundy, a little bit more north. And we have 30 people working there making the cabinets for the speakers, and especially our high-end speakers. The strength and the expertise of the company is really the total control of the design and production of the drivers, the drive units. And this is very important because it means that we, from our drivers, we can do everything we want, and we can really fit with the request of the engineers in the design and creation of the speakers. We have 5 universes. We have home audio, we have car audio, we also have professional monitors for studio monitors and sound engineers. And we have also custom install, and we have headphones. Focal sound, very specific focal sound, which is clear, which is very detailed, which is natural, dynamic, and musical. And this is the kind of sound we say it's a FOCAL DNA, because it's the same sound you can listen in your car, at your home, or in your headphones. It's really recognizable. So SOPRA is the latest line we have launched. We started last year with bookshelf, which is called SOPRA #1. Then we have done the SOPRA #2, and now we are presenting, because it's the latest model, recent one from this year, SOPRA #3, as it's there. In the SOPRA, you can recognize some very specific FOCAL technology, like the beryllium tweeter. It's pure beryllium, inverted dome tweeter, which are a specific technology by FOCAL that we create. We have a patent on it. So why are we chosen to make some tweeter dome in beryllium? Because the 3 necessary qualities for a good driver is that it must be light, to be fast, and give more details in the sound. It needs to be very well damped to avoid any parasite noise coming from behind, from the mechanical part. And it also needs to be very rigid to avoid any coloration and distortion. And for us, beryllium is exactly the magic material to have these 3 qualities. If you can compare beryllium to any other material, it's so light. It's extremely thin. The beryllium we use is thinner than a human hair, and it has all the quality. It's extremely rigid. It can scratch glass, and it's also extremely damped. On this line, we have 3 major innovations that we use for SOPRA. It's tuned mass damper. It's actually adding 2 small ribs on the surface of the suspension, and these ribs are here to damp the resonance of the suspension. And this way, we reduce distortion by 50%. The second technology is in the mid-range and in the woofers, we add a Faraday ring on the back of the pole piece. And this Faraday ring is here to make the magnetic field stable and again reduce distortion. And the final one is this part of the speakers that you can see here. It's called infinite horn loading for the tweeter, because at the back of the tweeter you have very often air compression. So we have created here a horn-shaped piece which allows to gradually absorb the radiation of the dome, on the back of the dome. We have launched a new line of headphones. The first one is Listen. It's a portable one, it's a Nomad. Then we have a second model, which is really a hi-fi model that you use at home. It's called Ilir. And finally, the third one is a really flagship of our line of headphones. It's called UTOPIA. And this one is made from a beryllium driver. The technology we have used for our headphones, Ilir and UTOPIA, is a very specific technology. It's not at all like any other technology that are used in headphones, because we have created a real full range, full band driver with the same components as a driver that you can find in the speakers, with a cone, a surround, a voice call, etc. And so it's really innovative. But why have we done this? Because we are very strong in drivers, as I said before. It's really our strength. And it was the best way for us to find the real hi-fi sound that we wanted to find. So you can see that the aspect of this headphone is also very luxury. We are using carbon. You are using high quality levers and very luxury connectors as well. We have given the name of UTOPIA to this headphone because we are using beryllium, pure beryllium cone inside, and it's related to our flagship, the Grand UTOPIA, in the lines of speakers. And something extremely important is that these headphones are made in our factory in France. We have trained some teams, we have created also specific spaces for the production, and they are made in France, UTOPIA and Ilir as well. And we are very happy and proud to say that we have very, very good feedback for these new headphones.